Some three people, some three lawyers have confronted me and told me that I was becoming a lawyer. Now, for those who are not lawyers, and for those who do not understand lawyer tradition, is that when a lawyer dies, all lawyers, the best person in the village to the worst person in the village, if you attend their funerals, you'll always be made to believe that this is the best person to have ever lived since Adam's day. But if you are there in the funeral and you stay aside and listen to the people, now not those who are talking on the podium, but people who are talking aside. I remember I attended a certain funeral where they were saying that for those people who come from outside and arrive at home at night, you are not going to be worried because whoever used to get you, we are burying him. So go and tell your relatives outside there that they can now come at any time of the day or night, because whoever used to waylay them is dead. What I'm trying to say here is that among lawyers, everybody, whether a saint or a devil, when he dies or she dies, if you are a person from Pluto and attended that funeral, you'd think that the best person in the village has died. I'm not saying that my dad was good. I have been confronted. I remember, if you go to Nation Media House, there is a reporter called Walter Menya. Walter Menya was given a file by Keraithe, the then police spokesman, concerning my father. And I was asked to comment on it when my father was alive. And I told Menya, and I told the Nation Media Group, that I have come to report on wrongs that were done during that time. And the police headquarters have told you about the badness of my father. They have not told you about the badness of me. That is what I answered. And it is there, written. If you check on I think it is 19th September 2010. It is there where I was asked to comment about Dad. I did not comment when he was alive, and I will not comment it when he's dead. If you don't sit one-on-one with somebody and tell him or her his or her wrongdoings, then you keep quiet forever. What I recorded in the other thing, and I still insist, and if I'm wrong, I want anybody to correct me. One, my sister, okay, Dad was, well, the opposite of an ideal parent, yes. And if we have to measure who was being treated with a kid's glove, I mean, even if we used to have a rough time, even if we had a rough time, but we did not have it equally. I remember there's a time my father was beating me up for being number 3. And he went to Adam's Arcade with my sister and bought her ice cream when she was number 7 in her class. I was beaten because I was number 3, and my father was wondering why I had failed my exam, and she was taken to Adam's Arcade to be bought ice cream. That was 1973. So what I'm trying to say here is that even though my father was not the ideal father, if you talk of the word sadist, you may be right. But what my sister did was wrong. was wrong. I was confronted by Walter Menya. Walter Menya is there. He's at the Nation Media Center. The Nation Media Center can give you a whole file of what they were given by Gilrad Kiraithe concerning my father. And I was given an opportunity to comment on it. And I told Nation Media Group I cannot comment that. But what I'm saying here is, my sister goes to Germany. Yes, the kind of upbringing she was brought, if you compare to other homes, that was terrible. But when you compare with ours, and you see, it is like a Boy Scout talking. It is like a Boy Scout talking to GSU people, complaining that his training is hard. So she went through a hard time, yes. But if you compare to all of us, hers was the best. And then she goes there. No, I personally in life, that is my principle. My principle in life is that if you tell the truth, if you just tell the truth, if it happened, there's no need of apologizing. And if she would have told the truth, I would be comfortable with that. But she exaggerated to an extent of comparing my father to Idi Amin Dada. And then it does not just affect her or anything. It affected Kenyans and Africans in Germany. How many phone calls, how many DMs have I received from people? I don't know them, but they are claiming that they have stayed in Germany and have used that opportunity to clean them up. Not only Kenyans, Africans who are in Germany. And if you know about Germans, you know about their tradition. Wana ukabila sana. So they do that. And then after my sister has done what she did, she goes ahead, gets the money, enters an aeroplane, goes home, buys dad TVs, 2 TVs in the sitting room, takes him to Mama Sarah Obama, then takes him from Kisumu with an Kenya Airways aeroplane to Diani for a weekend, using the same money that she earned while maligning him. And she never even once owned up and told him, say, okay, I can even call you a devil. You are my viewer. But then we can reach somewhere and tell you, I've called you a devil, and I still stand by that. Or I can say, I've called you a devil and I apologize. We come to terms. Dad died without knowing that. Lastly, let me talk about my father. I said I'll not talk ill about him, but I just want to give you one example. There is one day we were attending a course at CID Training School, and my name on the desk was James Lando, and a visiting lecturer came and talked to us, and he told us that there is a terrible police officer. My father was still working. That in Kajiado, being the OCPD, he beat up Peter Nderi, the district commissioner. He beat him really bad until he was hospitalized. And then Peter Nderi was an elder brother to Ignatius Nderi, who was the director of CID. The director of CID wanted to sack my father. But people said, how can you sack him for beating your brother? People will say that you are sacking him because of your brother. So he was transferred to Wajir. The same teacher was telling us that when my father was the OCPD Railways and the commandant came to visit and announced, you know, when you visit, you pass first of all the office of the secretary, then the registry, then you go to the office. So when the commandant was called Kabila, when Kabila passed the secretary, as he was somewhere within the registry, the secretary told Dad that the commandant is coming. And Dad came out beating him up. Railway, that platform there, people are shocked to see 2 inspectors, one beating up and chasing that, and said, kama hutosheki na ofisi yako ya commandant unataka ya OCP, sikuambie commissioner tubadilishane. That is that. But you see, lastly, the issue of making millions, castigating your father. If you had told the truth, there was no problem. But making millions, and then getting those millions, boarding a plane, coming to Kenya, taking the same father for a photo session with Sarah Obama, then taking him to Ukunda. Diani. That was very bad. And short of her owning up, our father is dead. So short of her just coming out publicly and telling people her story or even apologizing or anything, the book is there. The book is there. You only need to contact any Kenyan who is in Germany to give you the book and tell that person to translate that book for you. If out of the 1,000 things I've talked, one is wrong, I'm talking of, on behalf of the 999, I will apologize. You see, she can never run out of that. That is the truth. And Dad, you did your part. You played your part. To my view, you didn't play it the way you should be. But you are my father. I respect you. I love you. I will never betray you. Never.